Hey boys and girls, and welcome to today's social studies lesson. We're talking about map features again in different communities. So today we're going to be talking about rural, urban, and suburban communities. So we're going to watch a quick video and then we're going to have a little discussion and I'm going to talk about your seesaw activity. Alrighty, so we're going to get started. I'm going to share my screen again. Same kind of thing I did yesterday. I'm going to make this full screen. All
Moby, you're making it worse. I know, I like making snowflakes too, but they're so messy. At least it isn't my job to sweep up every day. I mean, some kids have a lot of hard work to do. My pen pal Jim lives on a farm, and he wakes up at 5 in the morning to milk the cows. What kind of places do people live? My friend Emma helps shovel snow in front of her apartment in the city. I guess people's lives can be pretty different depending on where they live. Well, I know there are people who live in rural areas, like farms. And then there are families that live outside of a city, in suburban areas. And some people live in urban areas. But what is an urban area exactly? This is definitely a city. There are lots of buildings and restaurants and stores, all close together. People speak lots of different languages, and there's all kinds of different foods to try in urban areas. It's cool to experience so many cultures. Hey, save some for me. A lot of people work and live in the cities. More people live in New York City than any other city in the United States. There are over 8 million people who live here. There are buses and trains to help people get around in urban areas. My friend Emma takes the subway to school. Way cooler than the school bus, if you ask me. Well, I guess we have fun on the school bus, too. What are suburban areas like? Moby, we're in the burbs. The suburbs. Suburbia? Well, we're close by the city anyway. I guess some people live in the suburbs, but travel to the city to work. The suburbs have some of the same things cities have, like schools, banks, grocery stores. Everything is just a little more spread out. Then there's some places where things are really spread out. Entering Farmville. Population 1,300. What is a population? Well, I know the word popular has to do with things people like. Maybe the word population has to do with people. Like 1,300 people live here. That's a much smaller population than New York City. This must be a rural area. But what's a rural area really like? There sure are plenty of big open spaces. Farmers use all the rural space to grow crops or raise livestock. Farming is hard work. Okay, you've done enough damage here. Time to head back to our community. At least this isn't as hard as farm work. Thanks, Moby.
Alrighty. So we're actually going to go ahead and go through what you're going to be doing for your seesaw activity. So, excuse me, sorry. For your seesaw activity, you are going to be making your own community, but you're going to decide if your community is rural, urban, or suburban. So at the top of your page, I would like you to type in what you want it to be. Do you want it to be rural, like farmland? Do you want it to be the suburbs or suburban, where it's like a bunch of houses in a neighborhood? Or do you want it to be urban, which is like a cityscape? So I'm actually going to make my community urban. So I'm going to type in a text box and I'm going to put that up at the top. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a community. So I'm going to make my community obviously an urban community, but I'm going to make a variety of maybe tall buildings, things of that nature. Maybe there's some bigger buildings, some smaller buildings, some skinnier buildings, but it's going to be more of the urban city type. But this is what I'm making. Remember, you want to use and add lots of detail. So I'm not just going to leave it like this. You know, I would add, you'd want to add a bunch of different shapes and things like that, and different, remember, there's going to be a ton of windows and things like that. So I would add a ton of windows. I would add doors. I would have maybe down here, I would have a really busy, you know, bustling street with a bunch of cars. You know, I would be drawing a lot of cars, right? I would be drawing some big buses, things of that nature. So remember, not the best drawer, but I'm doing my best. I would maybe add lots of people too, right? Because in my urban community, I would have lots of people because it's a highly populated city. So when you make your community, I would like you to go ahead and draw your picture, and then let me know what type of community it is. And then that's all you have to do for your activity. Remember, you can always click on the instructions at the top, and they'll tell you exactly what to do. You can hit the play button to hear the directions again. You can click on this link as well. But be creative and use lots of details. Don't forget to name your community. So right here I have the top that this community is called My Community, but I would probably instead, and I'll make sure that's editable for you, but I would call it maybe Cooperville. I think that's what I put in the directions. So my name of my urban city is Cooperville. And then you'd hit the green check to turn it in, and that's all you'd have to do. That's all of your assignment for today. Make sure you be creative, do your best work. If you need to, hop back on here and watch this lesson again. Thanks so much for joining me today, boys and girls. I'll see you next time.